Dear future summer abroad student, I'm Zainab, and I participated in the summer abroad program in Oxford for an English literature course called Margaret Cavendish, Renaissance Book History and Editing Women Writers. I'm going to tell you about my experience and what you can expect if you're headed to Oxford this summer. My story begins on August 3rd, 2024, when I set out from Toronto on a flight to London Heathrow. At the airport, I got to meet all of my classmates and the on-site staff before we were off to Oxford on the recommended group bus, prepared by the Summer Abroad program. 2 hours later, we were slowing to a stop among the beautiful historical buildings in and around the Oxford University campus, residences, museums, libraries, and all the places for lovers of English literature and history to be lost in. In the Worcester College residence where we stayed, and where you'll be staying, we had our own rooms and private washrooms, a shared kitchen for 4 to 6 students on the same floor, and the residence buildings were usually less than a 5-minute walk away from the classrooms. Close by my residence, there was a really nice pond, and I would often sit by the water to complete readings and assignments while enjoying the view. For breakfast every morning, which is part of the program's accommodation cost, the dining hall was the perfect place to socialize with classmates, but also students from other courses. Right after that, we would head to class, which was from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. every Monday to Thursday. I learned and laughed so much every class, while at the same time earning a full year credit in just 3 to 4 weeks. The smaller class size and the connections we built with our professor were very conducive to greater engagement with the course content and an overall very insightful month of learning. On top of that, I made a group of friends who I did practically everything with, from going punting to hiking on a mountain in Bath to seeing a Shakespeare play at the Globe. We made it our mission to go on as many adventures as possible. Here are pictures from some of my favorite trips during the program. Oxford itself has a ton of wonderful things to do, and because it's so pedestrian friendly, there are great walking tours around the city, including some optional ones planned by the program. Famous streets like Broad Street are lined with cafes and bookstores and Harry Potter shops, which was personally one of my favorite parts. There are museums and libraries and the Oxford Castle and Prison. Best of all, these places are generally quite close to the residences. Having public transport and restaurants just a short walk away was one of the best parts of being at Worcester, besides the fact that you might also befriend the campus cats if you're lucky enough to spot them. For classes, we weren't just sitting in a classroom and listening to lectures, but also going on field trips to other cities and even other countries. These are mandatory field trips for the course, and I don't think anyone would want to miss them anyway. One of my favorite memories was taking a trip to Belgium to learn about early modern book printing, and participating in a workshop where we got the chance to print our names the old way. It really felt like stepping back in time. One of my personal excursions was to the Chocolate Nation in Antwerp, the biggest Belgian chocolate museum in the world. Let's just say I may have had a bit too much chocolate that day. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that participating in the Summer Abroad program has been and will likely be the most memorable part of my university experience. Here's a summary of all the most important information about doing a summer abroad in Oxford. I hope this video was not only informative, but has motivated you to take part in a truly enriching experience. When I was leaving Oxford after all those incredible weeks, waving bye to my friends from the bus, it was really bittersweet. But I know I had no regrets as I left, and that was what really mattered to me. So, future Oxford expert, if there's one thing I can tell you at the end of this video diary, it's that the Summer Abroad program can be life-changing. So, let it change you. Yours truly, Zainab.